watched Michael Devlin, the kidnapper, being escorted from his Webster, Missouri home. This event had an active audience receiving the information and comparing it to their lives. They didn't merely watch the event and forget about it, they reacted to it. Every parent in America was angry with Devlin and was thanking God that their child was safe at home. The cultural model of media literacy describes society as giving different meaning to media depending on different personal characteristics. When it comes to geographical location, people in Devlin's neighborhood was shocked this was happening so close to them. Looking at age, parents feared for their own children's safety, while kids were stunned that something like this could happen to them.
Television.
Television. Oh, it was unbiased because it was so sensational, you know, at the time.
Unbiased, because it was a straight story about an individual being kidnapped, a young child being kidnapped by a person that was basically a pervert.
Unbiased. Originally, the kidnapping was just sent out as a bulletin that their children had been abducted.
Well, it was very repetitive, you know, and everything, but they really didn't know what happened. It was such you know, where is this child? They had no idea that he was snatched at first.
The answer is yes. Through both the newspaper and through television. Yeah.
Oh dear me. People searched for the child. They had search parties out and everything, you know, all over the place looking for him and everything. And they filmed a lot of the search groups, you know, that were out looking for him and all that.
They continued to do updates and had broadcasts with the parents that were, you know, asking for help in the search for their children.
Kept taking about how went from the very beginning to finally when the kid was found by the police. Horrified.
Well, it was concerning because I had young children at the same time.
I don't think that was something that happened. I think what it was is just showing you that any average Joe, like this guy was a manager of an Emo's pizza place, can be a child molester.
Oh, I'm sure there was. I'm sure there was, because people were very much more careful about letting children out on the road by themselves, you know, and all that sort of thing. They kept kids under closer watch and were more aware of strangers in the area. Well, when I was a child, there weren't things like that going on so much as there were today. And I can remember riding my bicycle for miles, you know, by myself. We lived in the city, and I used to ride all the way out to Kirkwood on my bicycle, and nobody said a word.
I believe that the power in media lies in the producer's hands. They're the one who decides what stories are newsworthy, and depending on their personal belief of what that is, or what the network thinks that is, often doesn't coincide with what society needs to hear in order to be informed. In the case of Michael Devlin, the power was also held in the producer's hands because they followed the story so closely. On the nightly news in St. Louis, there are statements made such as, "Jane Doe has been convicted of first-degree murder this evening as she's killed a man at a local convenience store. Cue next story." If this had been the coverage of the event, then I wouldn't have been able to even do a project on it.